Good morning and welcome to Qigong Live Online this morning. I said that really quickly. Welcome to Qigong Live Online this morning. It's a beautiful, hot, steaming day. Welcome to Mark and welcome to Susie. If you come online and I can't see you because we're doing it on YouTube, can you just type me a message? If you come and just say hello to her, and then I know who you are. If you type me a message, I get your name so I can say hello to you. But anyway, welcome to Mark and Susie because I know you're there. It's good to see you again, Mark. I haven't seen you for a little while. Anyway, so what we're going to do today, we're going through our warm-up exercises, which is we're doing the Sinew stretching method, and then we're going to do infinity exercises today. How's that? That's a good one today. And I thought of that as I was walking out of the house, and I came out here. It came onto me what we're going to do, so I sort of got then what we're going to do today. So infinity exercise, I call them that from about there to there. I named them on the way to this place where I'm standing. And infinity exercises don't stop. The continuous exercise where, and I mean don't stop as in they don't change direction either. They don't go up and they don't go down and stop at the bottom and stop at the top, or go to the side and stop and come to the middle. They don't stop. There's continuous, and I'll show you there's a few of them, and where the energy just keeps going non-stop and it doesn't stop. Yep, and we'll go through a few of those exercises for you today. And I call them infinity exercises because they are perpetual motion. There you go. And as I say, most systems have one or two of them in their system. They're part of most Qigong systems. There'll be an exercise that does this. Generally, your elbows. So we've been busy lately. We've actually been really busy lately. We're putting a 200-hour courses. I'm making a 200-hour course that is self-paced, a self-paced course, and that means that you pace yourself of how much you do, so you can buy the course and you can spend as much time as you like. There's no time limit. There's no weekend practices. I've pre-recorded all live practices, and so that you can do it in your own time and how long it takes you. And so I've made a 200-hour course like that. But the thing is, I've had to produce it from scratch and drag all the information and make a whole new course and then put all the videos up. And it's taking me forever because there's so many videos. And some of the Q&As, because all the Q&As are on there as well, are really, really long. So they've got 3 parts to them. It's like about 6 gigs of information. So, but I'm doing that at the moment because people have been asking for it. It's because quite often they can't do 12 weeks in a row. It's such a long period of time to dedicate in your life to show up every week for 12 weeks. And I get that. And not everybody can come here and do a live one here in Bali. And they're 23 days. And not everybody can give 23 days either, because 200 hours is a long time. So we've put one up. We're making one. I'm going to do a level 2 one as well. So the people and I've got somebody who wants to do a self-paced level 2 as well. So I'm going to make them so it's taking a little while to create it. Just a tad, say the least. Because it takes a long time to upload video, especially when they're two gigs of video. It takes a little while to get it up. It's like sitting at your computer watching paint dry as it ticks across slowly as it's slowly uploading. You'll all understand what I'm saying about that if you've ever uploaded something. Well, imagine uploading 180 videos and see how long it takes you. That's pretty much what's happening. Yeah, never mind. It'll be cool when it's finished. It's just time consuming. And I'd like to give somebody else to do it, but unfortunately nobody else knows which videos I want to use, because there are certain videos that are better than other ones. I wouldn't say better, they're different, but they have more information that's more useful. So I'm going through them all and picking the right one. But anyway, there you go, forward and backwards. We're doing our shoulders at the moment. I'm moving my hips. Let my shoulders go forward and backwards by moving my hips. But it is a stunning blue day today, and it's searingly hot. Well, it's actually not that hot, but it's hot. It has been. Cool. To our spine. So this, doing our spine like this, where we're just turning from our hips, we're turning from, stay double weighted on our feet, and we're turning from our hips, is not a infinity exercise, but there is an infinity exercise that does this, but it's done slightly different to create it to be infinity, so there's no stopping it. And I'll show you a little bit of it when we get started. We'll do it as a warm-up exercise. The idea to use how we get into continuous motion, because that's what they are. They just motions that doesn't stop. And once you get the energy circulating like that, then it just keeps circulating. And as I say, there's a few of them in the set that does this. Cool. Then lock your hips, and then just move your shoulders backwards and forwards. So you're moving your spine, but you're using your shoulders to do this, and you can feel the muscles either side of your spine relaxing, releasing, and try and relax them so they're all relaxed. But just lock your hip. That's it. Perfect. Cool. And then stop to our neck. Now, you're moving your hips backwards and forwards, and just letting your head flop forward and backward. I noticed my neck's a bit sore this morning. That'll be something to do with sitting on my computer too long yesterday. Even though I had my screen right up high, you're still looking up and down all the time, so I'm typing. I haven't quite got to the stage where I can type without looking. I know some people can, but I can't. And side to side. But this one's okay. And big circles, eh? Circles with your hips. Just let your head hang down. Just let it move to the back by itself. So the head's not moving, the body's moving. Your hips are doing circles and the head's just moving around at the top by itself. It's quite a weird feeling. Go the other way. Move your hips, let your head go. Let your head just relax. Very good. Now move your knees, so let your hips relax. So move your knees from side to side and just let your hips relax. There you go. Good. Move your knees backwards and forwards. Let your hips relax. Of course, your arms are just going to hang down and swing too by themselves now. And then do circles with your knees. Now, if you want to see a full set of these exercises, full set of the Sinew relaxing method, they're on the beginners videos on YouTube. Go to the beginners. I can't remember. I think it's number 2. I think in the beginners series, and it's a Sinew relaxing method, and you'll see the whole set of these. I did the whole lot in one go. Cool. Now I move our hips and let our knees relax through the opposite way now. So we're moving our hips side to side. And let your knees relax and your ankles relax. And then circles with your hips. Feels great. Very good. Good. Now, there's the knees. Yeah, it feels good. Just do our foot. Just move our knee to shake our foot. Just let the foot relax. And flop it sideways. 2 circles. Do the other way. And foot. Oops. Circles. Okay. Good. Yeah, shake them both out. That's it. Legs, body, whole body. Okay, that's good. Very good. So we'll bow and we'll get into the infinity mode for half an hour. How's that? See, we'll keep moving far, but no, we won't because it's keep changing exercises, so we will stop. Anyway. Good. All back on your thumbs. Left hand underneath, right hand on top. 2 thumbs together. Gong. Bring your hands towards your heart, and then bring the surplus energy back to your lower dantian, which is underneath your tummy button. Very good, in the centre. Very good. So we'll do the first one. So we talked a little bit about the idea of infinity. Was about the idea of perpetual motion we did before when we were doing this rotation exercise. But when we do the rotation exercise, when you go to the side you stop, and then you come back the other side you stop. So this is the stop-start going on. This is the understand with this has a lot to do with yin-yang exercises. It has a lot to do with the relax in each of the places where you get to one place you stop, relax, go down, stop, relax, come up. And so we have these places where nothing happens, where there's this gap, where the hands get to the top, and to come down they've got to change direction. Where they change direction, where they actually stop, there has to be a pause before it changes, goes the other way. Now we can't normally see that. It'd be like a pendulum of a clock. When it goes from side to side, you don't necessarily notice the stop, but you know it has to stop at the end because it's changing direction, but you can't see it because it happens in such a minute millisecond where it gets to the very, very top and stops and then changes direction. That stop. Now that's important with Qigong, and it's important with the understanding of yin-yang, because one changes from yin to yang at that point. It's the gap between your thoughts, the gap between your breath. It's the same thing as that gap. But because it's so minute, we as humans find it very hard to access that gap. You can through meditation, but you won't. In movement, it's really difficult because the gap between the movement, to be able to do it, you can slow right down. And we've done exercise where we've gone really, really slowly, trying to see it, trying to go doing our pendulum from side to side, trying to see feel that gap either side of where it changes direction. And it's not easy to do. But these exercises aren't that. That's what's in lots of exercise, has this gap, this yin, breathe in, breathe out, when the things stop and then go the other way. But what we don't want to do that. We're going to do a different version, which is the continuous one, where it goes completely, doesn't stop. So as I say, we'll go back to this one now. I'll give you a bit of intro to that. We go back to this idea of this one. We're stopping on either side. And how you change that is you do the figure 8. The figure 8, of course, is the sign for infinity. And so we're going to go across to we're going to change weight, and we're going to go across, turn, go across the other side, and then turn. Go across and turn. So as we're going across, we're doing a figure 8 with our hips. We go across, we turn, do a figure 8. So now there is no stop. It's just going continuous, circle, goes across and circle, as I say, like a figure 8. Yep. And this exercise, we won't use the arm for the stage, just to the warm-up, to get an understanding of this principle, yeah? And it's continuous circle, circle, circle. Now the hardest part with this, not the hardest part, but one of the points to be aware of, is when you do this exercise, is as you go to the cross and you circle, you want to stay completely weighted on one leg and turn on the one leg, go across the other side. Get it completely weighted, see the other leg's not on the ground. I'm sitting on this leg and I'm rotating on one leg. And I come back to the other side and then I rotate on a single leg. But what you don't want to do is stick your hip out. And I mean, when we do that, let's go and start doing this. That, okay, I think that's enough exaggeration of what that looks like. So you don't want to do that. You go across and turn. So you're doing this perfect figure 8 on the same plane, but you're not using it by sticking your hip out. You're just moving energy across the body to the kidney point, turn on the kidney point, across to kidney 1, across to kidney 1, circle, across to kidney 1, circle, and the momentum is continuous. And this is the first of how to demonstrate what a figure eight exercise looks like, because it is doing a figure eight. So, and we symbolize figure eight, the number 8 being infinity number. There you go. Now, this is sort of one of these exercises, and this is they use this in the Tai Chi exercise as well. This movement, and you'll see this lot, and you'll see the hands moving as well, where the hands go from side to side. But because we're going this slow, the only way you're going to get your hands to move is to go faster. But because we're just doing this nice and slowly, your hands are going to hang down, but they're not going to swing out. The only way you're going to get your hands out is you start doing the rotations bigger and going faster. Otherwise, the arms aren't going to go out because you're not generating enough power. Centrifugal force, there we go, we use some technical word. We're not using centrifugal force to throw your arms out, but if I go fast, and of course the faster I turn, the faster I rotate, the more the arms are going to come out. But at this stage, we're not worrying too much about that. We're worrying more about the infinity, the idea of going slowly and doing the figure eight in your hips without any stopping. That. It's a lot calmer too, isn't it, inside your body. When you do the other ones, a lot of activity happens. A lot of energy starts moving through your body. This one's way more subtle. There you go. Simple. So I'm just going to go over a few of these exercises. Normally when you practice, you could practice each of these exercises for a long time and just stay inside the rhythm of the exercise. But I want to give you a few different ones, so we'll go through a few of them. But as I say, you could sit there. I've done this exercise, what I'm doing right now, for over an hour, just as one exercise. Yep. And there's something hypnotic about it as well. Keep your mind quiet. Be out in nature somewhere, looking at nothing. Look without looking in nature, and just do the exercise. And just be aware of what your body feels like, and watch your mind disappear, and watch your thoughts come in and watch them going. And you can do with this exercise quite easily. Because inside the peace and quiet of this exercise, there's a lot happening. And so you'll catch all the thoughts. I'm busy chatting away, which is not to occupy my mind, just to talk to you while we're doing it. Very cool. And stop there. And when you stop, you feel your body still moving. So you feel your body moving? It's still going, because the body still wants to keep moving, because it's created this pathway, and you can feel it moving by itself. When it's doing the circuit, I can still feel it doing the figure eight inside my body. Yep. So we'll go to, we'll go to 5 elements. I'll show you one of the 5 element ones that doesn't stop. And that's the kidney exercise. We're going to do it slightly different though. We're going to modify it a little bit for today so we can see more of the practice is what's going on. So what I don't want to do is I don't want to move the foot. If I move the foot there and I move it back, then we've got stop start, but I don't want to do that. So put your hand behind your back, actually we'll do it the same as you. We're going to use our right hand out to the side, and our left hand is across our kidney points. Now, Ming Men at the back, it's across the back like that. Ming Men's right in the middle is the acupuncture point, and the 2 outer bladder points, which Shen Shou is right beside it. We've got the back of a hand on it. If we get really technical, we'll use the Sanjiao meridian that travels up the back of your arm, and that Sanjiao meridian, the 3 jowls, are touching your kidney points. So then you're connecting your 3 jowls with your kidneys. Yeah, we get a bit technical on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the hand, and the hand's going to come up. It's going to turn around, and it's going to come back. And you see there's no stop in this exercise. And we go to the side. So the body just turns to the side, the hand comes up. It turns back to the front, and our face are facing the front. Don't turn and follow the hand. Comes up, comes to the front, the body stops, but the hand keeps moving. So you turn to the side, hand comes up, turn. Good. Turns, comes up, turns. Good. Nice and slow, just relax. turn. So we're staying double weighted in the feet in this one today. So we're not, normally we change to one side to the other. We're not doing that. We're staying double weighted and we're just doing the pelvic rotation. We're turning one side and then come back to the center. We're going back one side, back to the center, turning one side, back to the center as we do that. So go one side and then back to the center. One side. And the energy is moving continuous with your arm. So the energy is spiraling through the hand at the same time. There we go. Turns up and across. Now, if you're going to use the breathing, I didn't give the breathing in the first one, and I'm reluctant to give the breathing to this one because as soon as I give the breath to this, then you're going to have a stop-start as you breathe in, and then you breathe out. There's a gap between the in and the out breath. So our focus today is infinity. So we'll continue moving and just breathe normally. You'll probably end up breathing the proper way inside this exercise because most of you will know how to do this exercise. Good. And we'll swap the other side. Come across and down. So you can go back and do these exercises. I want to get a few done today, so turn back to the front. Turn to the side, double weighted. Turn to the front. So you feel that the body's just moving. It's like Tai Chi, it just moves constantly and doesn't stop. There's no stop-start. It gives you this chance just to sit inside the peace and quiet. Good, we'll do two more. And hopefully that's about the same on both sides. Good, and then finish there. Bring your other arm down. Good, we're going to do one we'll do a couple out of the Shou. There's a couple of easy ones. Scoop the earth is the first one we're going to do, which is continuous as well. So we lower ourselves down. We turn ourselves hands around and we come up. Hands go right over the top, up into the air, and they come down the front. Turn at the bottom, and it comes up. So like two big circles. Comes up to the top, and then comes down. And the same thing as this, we won't worry too much about the breathing today. We just want the motion. So we're going down, and we're coming up. And the arms continuously moving. Talk about the flow. Quite often you hear people talking about flow in exercises. This is what you're talking about, the concept of this, the flow of energy, the continual flow of energy. Cool, we'll do a couple more. Stay standing up. And we'll go to scoop the sea. Both of them the scoop ski exercise because they're both based on the same principle. I'm going to go to the right side first. So we're going to go forward, stepping forward. And we're coming down. And the hands cross over at the bottom. And they come up to the top. And they open at the top. And they continue moving. Going forward. And going back, and just think the whole body's moving, because we're moving our weight from the front foot to the back foot as well. Weight's on the back foot, and as I come forward, it's coming on the front foot. So we have this transfer of weight that's going continuous between the front and the back, gets to the back, and then it starts moving to the front. So it continuously moves, and the hands continuously move as well. Alternate your hands, or alternate your hands in the bottom. So one hand's on one side at the bottom, and then the next one do the other way. Good. Change sides. Bring your hands to the top. Bring your foot in and step off the other way. Just think of the body going the same speed. So what we're doing is we lower it down as we come up. It's the same speed on the way down, same speed on the way up. And so you're trying to keep the same cadence through the exercise. So there's just a smooth flow of energy. Good, we'll do one more. Good. Come up to the top. And then bring your foot in and bring your hands down. So what you can do with these exercises, of course, what happens is you can sink into the peace and quiet, because you're not doing the stop-start. You can just sit inside the movement. And inside the perpetual movement, you just relax, because you know what you're doing, so you just follow it and just follow the body moving over and over and over again. So one of the easy ones, of course, which is the obvious one, which is windmill turns in the breeze, because it is just a windmill turning, and the windmill doesn't stop, doesn't it? And we're simulating the same idea of this perpetual motion inside it. So we start from the beginning. We're going to go to the right side first. I'm going to mirror you, and the right side comes over the top, and it turns and comes down, across the bottom, and then comes up the other side, across the top, and then try and make this windmills turn the same speed. Doesn't speed up and slow down, it turns at the same speed the whole time. And of course, to make it do that, it does take a bit of practice, because you're riding gravity on the way down, and then you're pushing against gravity on the way up. So to control that, you have to use your energy to do that, not your muscles. Let the energy control the force and override gravitational pull on the way down, gravitational pull on the way up. Let it override that. Let your energy override that. It can. It's also funny that most people, when you say most people, a lot of people, they all like the exercises that are like this. The exercises that move continually are the ones that people like, and for obvious reasons, because it's very relaxing. Do one more and then we change direction. Change direction the other way. Come up the other way. One more. And come up. Half circle back to the top. And then stop. Very cool. And we'll go to, where we go now? We'll go to the long life system. There's a couple in the long life system. We'll do the nice ones. One, it's interesting. I like, just while I'm doing these exercises, I realise I like these exercises, and I just realised why I like them, because it's this flow thing. And so it's interesting. I was just thinking of the exercises in the long life system, why I like it. Now I know. Anyway, it's the water. It's water, and it's funny enough, it's the water exercise, which is the water flowing, the continuous movement of water as well. The same thing. Water doesn't settle. What can stagnate, that's true, but we're trying not to talk about that. We're trying to put the river, ocean, evaporation, rain thing, which is precipitation, that constant movement of water. Yep, so we're going to use the water exercise. So it does start off from somewhere, because you have to start. We're going to go the right side first. I'm going to mirror you. So the hands come up, and it turns to the right, and then it goes down, turns around the front, and then comes up. It actually does stop in this exercise, and it stops up there. And then it comes down and doesn't stop. It stops, and then it comes back up again. So this is not a true part I like, is there's all this movement in it, this piece here. But it actually does stop. So I've given you a false lead on this exercise, because it does stop at the top. I forgot about that. It stops there. Let's give you a double one. We'll do this a couple of times because I like this exercise. Comes down, turns to the front. Down. And stops at the bottom too. Never mind. It's a bonus exercise. We'll do one more each side, eh? Turning. Good. Very good. So I'll go to Lao Tzu Shou, the sitting meditation one. There's one in there as well, so we'll pinch that one. But we're going to do it standing up. So the exercise starts, the hands come around, they come around this front, and the hands turn over. You bring your hands back, you push them towards the back. They turn around. It's a long exercise. It comes around the front. The hands come back towards your chest. They go down and then roll underneath and push back forward again. And then the hands come down. And we do a circle around the bottom. Turn your hands over the front. Bring your elbows back. It might take you a little while. You have to watch this and keep going and do it. There's a lot of pieces to this. Goes backwards and turns around the side. Yeah. Then rolls back. Goes down and pushes forward. Then the hands go down. Rotate at the bottom. Comes around the side. Turn the hands up, come back. Push the hands back. Around the back. Roll back, you bring your hands down. Push forward. Bring your hands down. So it starts from the bottom, goes around the outside. So when it comes down the bottom, it doesn't stop. It continues around the outside in a half circle. Gets to the front and turns around, and then you bring your elbows back, push your hands back. The elbows go out and it pushes the hands backwards. You turn your shoulders around, rotate your shoulders as you come to the front. Get to the front, and then you drop your elbows down, brings your hands back. Comes down, and then comes back forward. Get to the front. and then the hands come straight down. Get to the bottom, the hands turn around. To the front, turn your hands over, elbows down. Push your hands back. Rotate around. Bring your elbows down. Hands come down first and then they come back up. Your hands relax around the outside. Turn your palms up, elbows down. Push your hands back. Arms around the outside. So it's a beautiful exercise. Roll your hands back and press. The hands down. Around the outside. Turn your hands over. Elbows back. Elbows out. Push your hands back. Rotate your shoulders. Bring your hand to the front. Drop your elbows down. Bring your hands down. Hands go down and press. So the hands are doing like a circle. I'm going to do this from the side so you can see what I'm doing. Yep. Come down again. As it comes down, turns around to the outside. Hands turn over. Bring your hands back. Fingertips run past barbell, push to the back. Come around to the front. Bring your elbows down. Bring your hands down. Then you bring your hands down. And then it comes back over. It's like a circle with the hands, and then the hands drop down. To the side. Turn around. Rotate your shoulders. Bring your hands back. Push to the back. Round to the side. Drop your elbows down. Bring your hands down. Hands come down. Then push back up to the front. Bring your hands down again. Hands to the side. Bring the hands down. Good. That's it. Very good. Bring your hands up. We'll do this a couple. It's a beautiful exercise. Bring your hands up. Bring your hands down. Push them to the back. Circle around. Elbows down. Hands go down. Then hands push back forward. The hands come down. Out to the side. Bring your hands around. Rotate your shoulders. Bring your arms in. Elbows back. Push your hands back. Rotate your shoulders around to the front. Elbows down. Hands down. Hands pushing forward. Hands on the top, then relax your hands. Out to the side. Very cool. Good, and finish there. And we'll finish with one more. We'll do one more. God, I love that exercise. It's fantastic, isn't it? It takes a little bit to learn it, so you might have to go back and watch it a couple of times. So the exercise we'll finish with will be cloud hands. So cloud hands, perpetual movement, because we have this rotation thing going on. the whole time. Now there's lots of pieces to teach. If you haven't done this exercise, it's a bit complicated. So we'll do it in stages to get the idea. So the hands, one hand comes up, the other hand, the palm comes up. We start with that position so you can see what it is. One palm down, I'm starting on your right side, right hand's out, palms up, and it goes across the palm, the face watches the head watches the palm, the other hand goes across the bottom, the toes turns, and then it goes to the side, and then that hand, the top hand goes out, palm down, and the other hand comes up. And so you're turning, you're rotating from your pelvis, and you're turning from side to side. So the palm goes down, the other hand comes up. The hand watches your head, the other hand goes across the bottom. Then the top hand goes palm down, the other one comes up. If you've never done this before, this can take a bit of practice, the coordination of this. But if you remember, the palm watches the face watches the palm, then the palm goes down, then the palm watches the hand. If you think of that, the other hand will follow you. It comes up, hand comes up, head and palm together, palm down. Head and palm together, palm goes down. And it's easy to watch that. Yep. So here's another figure 8 exercise, but there's something that's happening in the hips. Unfortunately, we're going to have to add it to, because at the moment the hips are stationary and we're going from one side of the hip, we're going from one side and we're just doing this. We're going from one side and backwards and forwards. Of course, there's a stop when you go that way and there's a stop when you go that way. But when you do the exercise, there's no stop, and I'll show you what I mean, because it's what happens in the exercise. So we're going to start doing this idea of when we started right at the start, when we did the rotation, and we did the rotation. Yep. Well, this is the opposite way, where you go backwards and you turn, and you go backwards and you turn. So you're doing a figure 8 backwards. Across, turn, across, turn, across, turn. So we're going the opposite way we did to start off with. Before we went forward and turned, went forward and turned. Now we're going, just to confuse you, we're going to go backwards and turn. Backwards and turn. There are 2 different variations to this, and Cloud Hand uses the second one. Cool. So now we're going to do the hands. Now, be okay if this creates a lot of confusion. You go backwards and then you turn. You go backwards and then you turn. So there is nothing stopped in this exercise. It just goes from one side turning, back the other way turning. So we're doing a figure 8 reverse, and the hands are doing something completely different. So the coordination of this exercise, if you've never done this exercise before, it's not easy. This is the full part to it. We started off with just the hands. Now we're doing the rotation and the pendulum and the rotation as well. We're doing the movement across and the rotation, and we're doing the figure 8 with the hands. I thought we might as well finish with the hardest one. If you haven't already done this exercise, this takes a lot of practice. The coordination, this is not easy. But plenty of time to practice. We've got plenty of time, plenty of hours in our day, plenty of years left in our life to practice this exercise. It's very, very beautiful. And it's in just about every Tai Chi form has cloud hands, because it's a martial application. There's a martial piece that's going on with this exercise. And but all the Wu, the Yang, the Sun, and the Chen style, all you have variations of this movement. Very, very popular. But we're doing it for the Qigong exercise, for the health. And when you start doing this exercise, you just get lost in this exercise once you know how to do it, and you just drift off into another world. There you go. As I say, you can do this for a long time. Oh, hello, Erica. And Robin. I hope your name's not Erica Robin. It is Erica and Robin. Thank you for putting your name down. It's nice that I know who I'm talking to, so it's great to see you. Welcome to the class. Hope you enjoyed this. Such a beautiful exercise. These are a good set of exercises to do, the whole set. There you go. So what you can do is you can play it back and turn me talking the instructions. Once you know how to do the exercise, you just follow along. Very good. That was a great set, eh? Feel great. Have a beautiful day, Mark. Have a beautiful day, Susie, as well. It's a great day. It's a great day to be alive today. I don't know why, but it just is. It's always, every day is a great day to be alive, but today's something special. I don't know. Anyway, you're always special. Roll back onto your thumbs. Left hand underneath, right hand on top. Two thumbs together. Gong. Bring your hands towards your heart and then bring down to your physical center. Very good. And just step back. If you have any questions about the class today, we're going to post this up on YouTube so you'll be able to see it if you missed it. Just please message on YouTube. I'll get the messages and I'll answer your questions anyway. So have a beautiful day anyway. Bye-bye.